Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Fratello Talks. I'm your host Nacho, and today I'm joined by
Lex
and
Thomas.
And we are going to be asking ourselves the question, what makes a watch elegant? But before we do that, let's get into wrist check. Lex, what is on your wrist today?
My autumn watch, the Fratello with the oxblood dial in a bronze case and a grey suede strap.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, still the original strap.
Yeah,
looks good.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah, I agree.
It is a watch that kind of that
not
makes
a summer
you.
watch.
It gets you in the fall kind of mood, right? You start seeing those colors in the trees and the gloomier weather, and this kind of just brightens up your day.
Yeah,
It's a good one. How many years ago did this come out? It was 20.
22? 21. Oh, even before
No, even
that.
before that.
Way before that.
2019 or something like that. It was
I only got
pre-pandemic.
it years later, to be very honest.
Yeah, me too.
It was forced upon me when I started working for Fratello.
Put this on.
I had to make a substantial contribution.
Oh, okay.
And then, But
You
hey,
had to,
I think
you
it's
signed your contract with with ox blood.
exactly.
Okay, very nice.
It's a very good looking watch, I have to say.
Yeah, very, very cool. And Thomas, what about you? What is on your wrist today?
Well, speaking of elegance, it's something different for once.
Yes.
I am wearing the Serica Parade
Mm-hmm.
with the new blue linen dial.
Very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
It is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it was also, I think, introduced. It was introduced in blue and also in a very interesting color called tobacco green.
What?
Yeah.
This is when it's just harvested.
I suppose it
Fresh
is. To be fair,
tobacco.
it is to me. It's a little bit more of a tobacco tone. It's a bit more of a brown, but there is a hint of green in it, which is quite nice. It's depending on the light, it changes, and I think the linen texture, this sort of over the top linen texture, is very nicely done.
Rough
So,
linen.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool.
Heavy linen.
Heavy linen. Heavy linen.
That's a good looking thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very cool. And,
Prominent bezel.
a nice,
we'll talk about it a little bit later, probably.
Yeah, and I love that the buckle on it. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Kind of mirroring the shape of the watch, of the case. Cool, very
Yeah.
nice.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing my chronographe Suisse, which is on a new alligator strap that I got while I was in Paris earlier this year. And
Did you buy it at ABP?
No, I did not. I bought it
did
at a little corner store where they sold straps, and
Excellent combination.
I really like
Yellow,
it.
gold, and green.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about elegance.
and
with
the case is sort of a pink gold, and
Is
then
it?
the dial is more
What?
yellow. Yeah. It's
What?
just
But other than that, great
other
point.
than
Lex.
that, great combination.
It still
I mean,
works.
Yellow,
It still
gold,
works.
and green.
Yeah.
We've got new lighting. It's,
Ah,
the
that's
lighting is a
it. That's
different
it.
temperature.
That's it.
Oh,
And
now I see.
It changes your
Nah,
view.
come on.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah. It's even more interesting that they have the yellow goldish.
a little bit of contrast there, and
that's
I
nice.
feel that sometimes that contrast makes the dial look a little bit greenish.
Yeah,
but then
it
with the
does.
strap in green, it kind of it balances things out. So
This
it's,
is lumberjack chic. I like
lumberjack chic. That's it. Elegant lumberjack. So I thought we're going to talk about
That. More like it has a golf swing with the axe.
Exactly.
It's,
That's
But
it.
this leads
it.
us into a little bit of a disclaimer, right? Because we are not the most elegant of men, perhaps.
No, but in my mind, I am actually.
Okay.
I'm super elegant in my mind.
And that's
where
all
I'm
that matters.
always,
The
in,
elegance is on the inside.
exactly.
Yeah,
No, but we're quite casual.
for sure.
Yeah, but the whole
safe
But
to
that
say.
doesn't really matter for the topic. But I can
I have
already
to-
see
yeah,
the...
but I do when the weather gets a little bit colder, my clothing style also gets a little bit more. I wouldn't say formal, but
Out come the three-piece suits. No, not quite.
why
Not
exaggerate?
quite.
Why
Not
always exaggerate? No, but you wear a little bit more cashmere left and right. You wear different kinds of shoes. You're not on the flip flops the whole time. It's also because you get frostbite, especially in Geneva.
True.
And
Okay.
you do get a little bit more.
Shall we start with a definition of elegance?
Or if you have one.
I have one. I have several actually. I have two or three. But so a few definitions of elegance. One of them is the quality of being graceful and stylish in appearance or manner.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily have to do with appearance. It can also do with manner. That's much more to do with obviously people.
Yeah.
Obviously hitting the microphone
Yeah,
while
yeah,
recording
yeah,
a
I know,
podcast
I
is
know. But I won't do
perhaps
it again.
not the
The
most
coffee
elegant.
is done.
It's fine.
but
It's
I
fine.
did it in a very.
And then there's also a refined grace or dignified propriety.
Dignified.
Yeah, dignified. That's how they do it in the South. Dignified propriety. T, yes. And then there's
I think
also
the first definition might apply. The second, perhaps not.
and then I think
Dignified chicken is super nice.
the dignified chicken, exactly. And then the final one, which is dignified gracefulness or restrained beauty of style.
No, I don't.
I think that final one.
I don't actually agree with the restraint.
Okay.
I think that sometimes elegance can be very, very outspoken and very almost extrovert.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
I mean, if you look at a yellow gold, golden ellipse on a yellow on a bracelet, and then maybe with a I don't know lapis lazuli dial or something. I don't know actually if that reference exists.
The blue or the blue sunburst
dial. I think that's elegance, but elegance can also be quite outspoken and exuberant. So
I agree.
But that's probably also the exception that proves the rule, right?
Well, there's kind of if we were talking fashion, you could say that there's two types of which we maybe should steer clear for from right away.
I mean, we're all wearing H&M. No, we're not.
Exactly.
No, we're actually not.
No. Hennes and Maurits are not here with us. But it's in Italy, it's obviously the sprezzatura, which is supposed to the concept of understated is there, and I think that that's something that can apply to making a watch elegant. It's this understated style, casual and understated,
the effortless elegance.
Exactly.
I think effortless elegance is what we probably strive for most, right?
Yes. And then there's also...
Which is already a contradiction, to strive for something effortless.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you can't.
We strive for effortlessness here at Fratello Talks.
Very hard.
Yeah, how do you... Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. It's
the quest for effortlessness continues. No, but... And then you have a little bit more of like an elegance, which kind of, I think is a little bit more prominent in Britain, which is more this like sort of dandy style where everything's a little bit more exuberant, a little bit more out there. And I think that
Oscar Wilde-ish.
Yeah, exactly. And that can apply to watches as well. I feel that there can be some watches that are elegant in how little they do, and then there's some that where it's a little bit more more pronounced.
Do you have is there a favorite elegant watch? Do you have, if you say elegant watch, is there something that pops to mind?
My mind immediately goes Cartier, but it's a bit on the nose, but yeah.
I always think of
which one?
Donk.
Oh,
Donk.
Not a Pasha.
No.
I think the tank, right? Just two hands, Roman numerals. It's not exactly understated, but it is an elegant watch.
It's not. It's not per se understated. Not Calatrava. You don't think Calatrava?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Calatrava, or even the golden ellipse, like you said, because that's also sort of just two hands.
Because I think because when you say dress watch, I would say Calatrava. When you say elegance, I would go golden ellipse, because that is also what you're wearing. Since we're on the topic of golden ellipse, that obviously is a little bit of.
Yeah, but I don't think I associate elegance with sort of minimalism per se.
No,
I agree with your point that it can be exuberant, and that's where I go Cartier, I guess, because there's a lot going on a tank, but it's all elegant. It's all
But don't you agree that the what was that? There were those special dials that are completely black, or are even more elegant than the standard opaline with Roman numerals.
No, not per se.
No? Like the boutique edition with the fully black dial, or the fully red, or the fully blue or green.
Yeah, because I think that's a little bit more elegant, and then even when you do it in a collar, then it's still.
So what makes a watch elegant then? What ingredients need to be there?
That's kind of the question that I was hoping to sort of drive us towards. I think there's several elements, right? It's a bit of a recipe. You have to get the ingredients right, and then it all comes together for a combination. And I think we can start with proportions.
Yeah,
I think proportions are very important. I think if you look at a very big watch, it's harder for it to be elegant. There can perhaps be some larger watches that are also elegant, but I think for the most part, it tends to be more sort of what we would call classically sized, right? Like between 34 millimeters and let's call it 38. Maybe it's a little bit more oversized. Obviously, with square watches, it's a completely different can of worms that we won't get into. But
Is there a big watch that is elegant? Can we think of one?
a big elegant watch?
Is 42 big in your book?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Speedmaster. Speedmaster Professional.
Yeah.
I think with the lug shape and everything, and the relative slim, and it's not even relatively slim. It's I think a Speedmaster is quite elegant.
It has a sort of like mid-century sort of like with those swooping lugs and everything.
Exactly.
I think that there is. Yeah, I agree.
It's way more elegant than a Daytona.
Yeah, true.
Although I think a sub is somewhat elegant because it is rather slim.
Yeah. Especially an older sub.
Which is, especially true, because the proportions of older generations are better. So,
and then also, like Patek releases watches even this year. They've released this, what was it, as an annual calendar model that was, I think, 40 millimeters, 39 or 40 millimeters. And that's still relatively large for like a dressy adjacent kind of watch. And I think that those are still very elegant. You know, I think that would be.
So it doesn't have to do with formality.
Not
necessarily. No, I don't think not necessarily. No.
Yeah, and then, but I would say for the most part, like dress watches tend to be more elegant than sports watches. But there are plenty of.
But we also immediately put them in the box elegant, where they're not necessarily elegant. I mean, the
you can wonder if this is, to be honest. It's also quite brutal in a way.
It is because also when we talk about proportions and it's quite chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. But
but it's a bit more well, like Longines say, elegance is an attitude, right? That's the Longines slogan.
Yeah.
Or
fighting
words
that kind
or
of
whatever.
says it all. Then maybe we should
embrace that attitude.
The podcast
kind of an attitude is that.
No, but but it is more of like a feeling and not really so much something that can be defined. Because I find that even the definitions that we gave right at the top, they're all a bit. It's also like using other words that are almost like synonyms to describe it in a way.
Yeah.
Gracefulness and propriety and
but it's a bit like beauty. It's like when you see it, you recognize it, but when you have to describe it, it's really hard actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's a
but
good point.
other factors that sort of play into it, like if you have a watch that's made of titanium and on a titanium bracelet, it's going to be harder for it to be elegant. Grand Seiko would perhaps digress, and they would say, well, we've got some pretty elegant titanium watches that are on a titanium bracelet, including the this high frequency number that they released earlier this year, the UFA. I think that's it can be quite an elegant watch. It's also on the sportier side, but I think that.
It's also how you and of course a lot also has to do with how you wear the watch, how you carry it, so to speak, how you combine it and everything. But you said what would be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of an elegant watch? You could also say reverso, but actually until they kind of remodeled the case and made it a little bit better to wear on the wrist. Before that, of course, it's a 1931 design, and the first ones were. I think the first ones are really, really elegant because they're so small. Yeah. But if you have a Grand Taille from the early 2000s or something, or a Squadra, those are really, really chunky watches. And I'm not. I think maybe the modern tributes that they have in the different colors, that's quite elegant.
And
but
what
the
you
gold
see
one,
is,
I'm not too sure about the full gold on the Milanese. That's
it almost strays out of elegance because of it being too much.
Yeah,
it strays into opulence.
And on the other hand, if you there is also that the Rolex counterpart of that with on the Settima bracelet is that the 1908.
Yeah.
I think that's also like a borderline elegance thing, but I also feel that it also depends on who wears it and how that watch is worn.
Of course.
Is elegance more about
an attitude? I think they nailed it. Actually,
That's
No,
it.
but is it more about your style may be exuberant, but it's not opulent, as you say. You're not, because flashing a lot of wealth might be considered bad taste, but flashing an extravagant style might be in good taste, might be elegant.
Yeah.
Is there something there? Maybe?
Yeah. I think there is.
That's it. It goes back a little bit to the understated thing, which but also kind of not, because like you said, it can also be flashy without being over the top. I think it's that kind of thing where like that's where the attitude thing comes in, which is like then how you wear it. Because if you wear the the reverso that you were talking about with that Milanese bracelet, if you wear it and you're wearing a Gucci tracksuit, no offense to the Gucci tracksuit wearers, nothing wrong with that.
Why not?
But it's maybe then
there is
it's a little
something
bit.
wrong with that.
It's a little okay. We'll let you fight that fight. But I kind of agree. But anyway, let's move on. But if you're then wearing it with like a classic sort of blue navy pinstripe suit,
or with a creamy linen suit to a wedding, and
could be a good move.
Could be a good move.
Yeah. But there's a lot of things where a lot of different factors that go into it. It's not just like, and if you wear gold in the lips with sweatpants, then I don't know. Does it detract from the elegance?
That kills everything.
So.
The sweatband is
if you're wearing Crocs.
Yeah.
But
the thing, what is interesting is that now you see a lot of, look at the success of Denison.
Yeah.
With the stone dials. I think that also shows that people are looking for something that is a little bit, you could say elegant or dressy or just a little bit more that breaks away from the retro vibes, I should say the sporty retro vibes. Corrected that. But so it's not a 1950s diver reimagined. This is the Denisons are definitely 70s inspired. But the nice thing that at least it is okay. The designer thought, you know what, I'm gonna think about the brand, and then I'm gonna imagine what they would have done if they would still exist, if they would, what they would do now. Sure. So I think that's kind of cool, and you see that they have huge success with what they do. So people are looking for something that is more elegant in a way. And you can also ask yourself, why are people looking for elegance? Maybe because the world has become such a brutal place, and looking for a little bit of refinement where not everything is black and white, but there is also a little bit of a touch of color and tiger eye.
There's also, I think, like there's an embrace of something more casual in terms of fashion, in terms of style. That is very of the now. It's like convenience, comfort, and you see a lot of people whenever you're traveling, right? I think, I wasn't there for before the 90s for what travel used to be, but people used to travel a little bit more dressed up, right? And now, if you're on an airplane, people people prioritize comfort, which I don't think that there's anything wrong with it per se, but it then turns the experience into being a little bit more, casual.
They dressed like they're going to the gym, but you can clearly see that they don't go to a gym.
That's an interesting observation.
And if it's a long haul flight, I can kind of understand it, right? Because it's like you don't want to be sitting there in a in a 3-piece suit in an airplane worrying about.
There is definitely something in between the jogging outfit and the 3-piece suit. Yeah, that's true. Hey, but let's be honest. Is traveling? I think traveling by train is actually now, especially when you take a long distance train, I think it's actually more classy than air travel.
Yeah, it's more enjoyable.
The Ryanairs, EasyJets, and all the other prize fighting companies haven't made a contribution to elegance travel in style.
No,
so that's gone.
Yeah.
So I agree. The
GMTs are no longer the go-to traveling pilot's watch. It's no longer an elegant complication.
No.
That's what you're saying.
That's a shame.
What about we talk about how you wear your watch in terms of the context in which and how you personally wear it, but what about in terms of straps? Is there anything that in terms of watch straps strikes you as more elegant? I mean, I think obviously as much as I like them, I think a NATO strap is not precisely the most elegant way to wear a watch. I'll admit it.
No, okay, no NATO, no Velcro.
You can put a Lange or a Patek on a NATO, but then it's it feels like it detracts some points in terms of elegance.
But I have there is one weird exception because our good buddy Christian Hagen once had this lovely pink gold Vacheron 1921, and he wore that I think on a very thin gray leather NATO. And that kind of looked elegant. It looked like, okay, I just parked the Bentley blower, and I'm going to have a scotch at my gentleman's club.
And it was even like an alligator NATO, right?
I think it was.
Like
I think it was. I
something?
can't really remember.
Crazy.
I know that he regrets selling that watch, but that's a different topic.
Talk about a cool watch. That's also an example, maybe of a larger yet still elegant watch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because it probably also makes you think of people driving Bentley blowers or I don't know.
Yeah, E-types.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I really what strikes me as very elegant is the ray leather. How do you call that? Stingray.
Oh, like stingray leather.
Stingray leather.
But I think leather in general. Like leather,
I think leather is.
There's something about exotic leather that's been the go-to for many brands, high-end brands.
Lizard. I really like lizard. Yeah. Lizard on a green lizard.
And we see a lot of we see a lot of brands, especially the bigger brands, kind of straying away from those. I think mainly for logistical reasons and maybe some ethical reasons as well. But you obviously shipping exotic leather.
But the good thing is you can kind of
challenge.
You can with all the alternative materials we can do lizard print or we can even do giraffe print.
Giraffe print.
Yeah, I saw the giraffe.
Yeah, or you can always go to brands like ABP or D-Lugs or whatever. There's a lot of brands that do even made to measure kind of things. Like they do bespoke straps.
Yeah. I think a lot can be won with a strap.
I think a good taper matters as well.
True.
Speaking of one, I mean, this one has a fantastic taper, and it really adds elegance. It's a direct pathway to go from a bit cumbersome to going quite stylish.
Yeah. And do you think there can be an elegant watch on a bracelet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is a golden ellipse on a bracelet more or less elegant than on a strap?
No, I think it's more elegant on a strap.
Okay.
It's more elegant on a strap, but it's more festive on a bracelet.
Okay.
So cocktail party, definitely strap, but I don't. They probably don't have a quick release.
This podcast is leaving me more
otherwise
confused
because
than I
when the dancing starts, bracelet. Woo.
That's the next level
It's
move.
a Saturday Night Fever watch, man.
You put it in your jacket pocket, and then you have to, excuse me for a moment, I have to go powder my nose, and then you actually just are sitting there in the bathroom trying not to drop a spring bar into the sink.
Yeah, that's the thing they have. That's why actually all watches need these quick release.
I can imagine Lex leaving the party through the back door because he dropped a spring bar in the sink and can't put his watch back on. He's like, I was trying to put it into bracelet mode.
That would could
quickly
happen.
leave, call a cab. Lex, where did you go? I dropped a spring bar.
I had to go home for another spring bar. Yeah.
No, you can't come back after that.
No, you can't.
That would not be very elegant. Perfect. Well, I think, I don't know. We can. Is there any other factor that comes to mind? Materials. I kind of briefly mentioned before that perhaps titanium is not very elegant, even though Grand Seiko might disagree. But is steel an elegant material to you guys, or is it a little too sporty and maybe?
Steel is not necessary. If you say it like this, steel is not necessarily an elegant material.
But I think it's much more subtle than that. Like it's tiny little design cues that can flip a watch from inelegant to elegant. And I don't think it can be put into such big rules like this material or that material. I feel it's tiny little touches here and there. Like a little signature in a different font can sometimes completely lift a watch.
The size of the logo also, right?
Yeah, that's
oversized
definitely a make or break.
a little chamfer, a little polished chamfer here or there, like that. Yeah, I agree. What about when it comes to watch movements? Is there anything that you feel adds?
Hand wound is, of course, the ultimate elegant watch movement. A hand wound.
Yeah.
And also because you don't wear it every day.
Yeah.
So you bring it to life on a special occasion.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want it to be quartz because on that special occasion and then it stops, then you can't do anything about it. And I think most people who love wearing watches still want it to run.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, you just have wearing a dead object. That's also not very elegant. Wearing dead objects, it's not considered elegant. I'm just telling you.
Not even a mink.
No.
Okay. Especially not a mink. No one wears a mink
just
anymore. Thank
golden
God.
rule. That's the golden rule. Yeah. So I think hand winding. Hand winding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then and
What about complications? I tend to lean to less is more. there.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
I
true.
think I agree.
But then again, do you think that there's some of the less functional and more kind of esoteric complications, like a moon phase,
Philosophical.
that could add a little bit of philosophical that could add a bit of
horology.
elegance?
A moon phase, and the poetic moon phase complication,
But I also feel that the only reason that's poetic is because everyone writes poetic moon
Exactly.
phase.
Yeah, true.
It's a bit of a meme in that
I've started
sense.
doing that in 1878, and everybody picked up on it. So
That's it. That's it. And what about something like a Patek 3940?
Can someone?
That's a
It's a
complicated
bit much
watch.
for if you're going for pure elegance. I'd say go for something less complicated.
Then you know what, you can wear the was it the Gondolo 10 days? Yeah, that's
for reference.
Yeah, that's great. That's of course.
Is this elegant or not?
No.
Well, it's a very elegant. No, but it's an elegant way to do something that complicated.
Yeah, exactly. But exactly.
True.
No, but the Gondolo is also not. They had the 10-day tourbillon with the tourbillon hidden beneath the dial.
A hidden tourbillon is more elegant than an exposed tourbillon,
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
I'd say.
yeah.
Okay. I think
Exposing your complication is not elegant.
before we lose our elegance, I think we could maybe call it here.
Yeah, but the most interesting thing is no. The interesting thing is that it's very difficult to pin down.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's something where you have to feel it. You have to have a feel for it. It might even be somewhat subjective.
Somewhat subjective. I
fairly
think it's
subjective.
very-
And it's also hard because everyone is constantly using the term.
Yeah.
Even though it isn't entirely clear what it is exactly.
Yeah.
Every watch brand claims that it is elegant. So it's true.
Well, that's it. You see,
Feels a bit empty.
Grand Seiko have the Elegance collection, and then you have a full skew of watches there. Longines uses it in its motto, right? Elegance is an attitude. So you go, is everything that Longines puts out elegant? I mean, I think that the Ultra Chron with a carbon and titanium case is maybe not elegant. It's a cool watch, but it's not the most elegant thing ever.
And also, when we're going back to Grand Seiko, I think the watches in the Elegance collection are. They should have called it the tradition collection because they look more traditional or more classical, but not necessarily more elegant, because the Evolution 9 watches sometimes look more.
Think so?
Yeah. I think the case shapes are actually
You're not
a
say
little
the
bit.
tentograph is.
No, not
elegant,
the
right?
tentograph.
The
No,
Tokyo line.
No,
Yeah.
but the Tokyo line is definitely not an elegant cat. No.
It's a cool cat, but not
It's a
an
cool
elegant
cat, but
one.
not an elegant one.
Okay, so I think we can say here elegance is a little bit more than a buzzword, but a
there's
little
another
bit
thing,
less than an
actually.
attitude.
But there's
No,
another
I don't
thing.
know.
Lex, before we started rolling, you made a good point that the brand itself actually matters.
Yeah.
True.
I think that. Yeah. Because look at my elegant Breitling. Is
No, that sounds weird.
yeah,
right?
it sounds weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though the new top time for ladies is
Oh yeah, true.
Is borderline elegant.
It's getting there. It's as elegant as it gets for a Breitling, I would say.
That's also a nice slogan.
True.
As elegant
It's as elegant as it
Is
gets.
it elegant as it gets? It's not a very elegant slogan.
Zin isn't very elegant either.
No,
Zin.
No.
no.
Or Hanhart.
But the brand has tried to
Hanhart.
make some.
Panerai. Is Panerai elegant?
I've been
But
thinking-
that's a
that-
good
no,
one.
that
Let's
actually
talk
jumped to
about the 1950 case. Is that elegant?
Panerai actually jumped to mind during this conversation 3 or 4 times with me
Okay.
because I always felt that the radio mirror I had, the
Oh,
40,
yeah.
44 millimeter,
Oh, yeah.
45,
I think it was
fully polished. I always secretly felt it was kind of elegant in a
Okay,
weird way,
okay.
even though it's massive,
massive.
sporty, it's flashy.
Yeah, sits very high on the wrist.
Yeah.
Elegance is not the right word for it. But the 1950 case with the beautiful lines, but maybe it's a little bit, it's disproportionate. It's just that is really too big to be elegant.
I don't know if you dress it,
It's not
up the right way.
It's elegant for a table clock, but it's not elegant for a watch. You know what?
Yeah.
So
it's elegant for a Panerai. But it's the same thing. It's like it's
That's also
within
relative.
within the that's it.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
elegance is also relative. Well, you've heard it here. I think let's.
But what have our listeners learned? This
absolutely
that-
nothing.
no, exactly. Stay away from elegance. No. I think
quite confusing.
I think
You don't always
I think
have to learn something.
Sometimes you have
okay.
to confuse the audience. That's
Okay.
that's the way to do it. I think I think that there are several factors that help in making something elegant. But at the same time, it's it ends up being something rather subjective. We've learned a lot ourselves about elegance. I feel.
Absolutely. Now read from your elegant little notebook.
Yes, thank you.
Comment of the week.
Comment of the week, where we have Angie Karshmer 5633.
That's an elegant name. If you're named Kashmir, then that's elegant.
Angie Karshmer, it is.
Karshmer.
Says about our podcast on watch design, says, truly great design never goes completely out of style. I thought that was a good little thing. I don't know if, would you guys agree with that?
I don't think I agree with that.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I think, but this is we could do a podcast on this topic actually.
I don't
I
think
think
we could.
timelessness in
After
design-
Thinking we could do one about elegance. I don't think we could do one about this.
No, but
But I think timelessness in design doesn't really exist. It might adapt well to the new context of a new age for a little while, but it never truly sort of overcomes its period.
Yeah.
It can. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's
Something
something.
Baroque design, for instance, that can be great, but it's very much out of style. It can still be beautiful.
No, I don't think it's out of style. Then it's Baroque is not the trend anymore. So
that's the point, right?
You,
Is it
you,
not?
you also see peaks and in appreciation for some styles. So like Jugendstil or something is stuff. Bauhaus. It was great. It's
But
not
what
that
about-
great. It comes back. So I think some of these styles are timeless in the sense that they will pop up every now and again, and they are arguably.
But they're not timeless because they come back with a new contextual relation to the current time. So it's always different in that sense.
I kind of agree, but I also think that there are certain things that if you go for it, like if you think of like a classically sized Cartier tank, if you're wearing that, even when the wider public sort of doesn't really appreciate it anymore, I think it's still deep down like a solid move to go with something like that. But then again, at the same time, you're kind of like trends are. I agree that. Oh, there we go. There goes the neighborhood. No, I agree that trends kind of fluctuate, but there can be certain things that kind of, that where the lines meet and cross, but there are certain things that kind of follow more of a straight path through the fluctuation of things. But I think it's very.
It's a good comment, though. Triggers.
Thank you, Kashmir.
Triggers the debate. Thank you.
There we go. Perfect. Well, thanks, guys, for this insightful discussion, and leave your thoughts on elegance in the comments down below, and join us again next week for another episode of
all
Fratello
caps.
Talks. Yeah, in all caps. Nothing more elegant than all caps. Perfect. See you next week.